Hi everybody, this is David with Trinity Focus Ministries. I'm here with another video. Today I'm doing a video about the mark of the beast. And I read out of the Bible and I got some notes and we talk about an issue, and that's the one we're doing today is the mark of the beast. Um, I'm sure most of you that are watching this have already heard of the mark of the beast, but for some of you, if you've never heard of it, it's something that's going to happen during what's known as the Great Tribulation. I did a video on the tribulation a couple weeks ago. If you don't know what the tribulation is, I suggest you watch it or learn about it some other way. But basically, what the tribulation is a 7 year period when it's going to be basically the worst time on earth. And here, I'll read a verse. This is out of the book of Mark, and this is 13, chapter 13, verse 19. And it says, "For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of creation, which God created unto this time, neither shall be." Basically, affliction means pain and suffering. So that verse could read basically, in the days of the tribulation, there'll be pain and suffering, unlike any day from the beginning of creation, nor will there ever be again. So it's going to be the worst time ever on earth. You don't want to be here for the tribulation. Um, Luckily for us who believe in Christ, I believe that an event called the rapture is going to happen before the tribulation. So we're out of here before any of the tribulation goes down. But during the tribulation, there's going to be something known as the mark of the beast. Basically, in the tribulation, the beast in the Bible is referred to the Antichrist. So it's the mark of the Antichrist. The beast or the Antichrist is going to reign during the 7 year period. And he's going to have uh, basically a right hand man, which is known as the false prophet, which will be some sort of religious leader that turns out to be the false prophet. So there's a lot of theories of who that could be, but I'm not going to get on that. But basically, what their goal is they're going to create a cashless society, and they're going to enforce this mark of the beast system on people, and you won't be able to make purchases, buy anything, save money, trade, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to buy food, pay your bills, nothing without this mark of the beast. Now, I'm going to read another verse here. This is out of the book of Revelation. And it says, this is Revelation chapter 13. And I'm going to read verses 16 and 17. And they say, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." So basically, that's the mark of the beast. It's a mark. It's going to be on your right hand or your forehead, and that's what you're gonna use to buy stuff and sell and trade. And by receiving this mark, you if you do receive it, it'll be the worst mistake you've ever made in your life. And I'll get more into that. But first of all, we need to know what the number of the the uh, beast is. And if you read the verse directly below that, it says, verse 18 on chapter 13 in Revelation, it says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. Otherwise, everyone knows this. It's 666. That's the number of the mark of the beast. So you don't want anything to do with that. And then also, if you do not receive this mark of the beast system, the Antichrist and the false prophet are going to persecute people, that they're going to hunt people down and kill them. So it's either going to be receive this mark or die. And it's far much better to die than to receive this mark. But here's another verse. This is a verse right above those three verses that I wrote. This is the direct one right before. It's verse 15 in the same chapter 13 in Revelation. And it says, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not be worshipped the image of the beast should be killed." So by receiving this mark of the beast, it's a form of worshiping the Antichrist. And if you refuse to worship the Antichrist during this time by receiving this mark, you will be killed. And that's what it says. And like I said, it's far better to be killed than to receive this mark. And I'm going to read a verse right now that kind of goes along with that. And this is in the same book, Revelation, and this is in chapter 14, verse 11. And it says, "And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day or night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name." So what it's saying is, if those that worshipped the Antichrist by receiving his mark, the number of his name, which is 666, are going to be in torment forever and ever. They're going to be in hell forever. And it's not worth it. It's not worth the little bit of time you have here to receive this mark so you could have money to buy things and to spend all eternity in hell. But if you stand strong and do not receive this mark of the beast, you'll be rewarded. And I'm going to read another passage here, and this is out of the book of Revelation 2, but this is in chapter 19, and this is verse 20. And it says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone." So basically, anybody that receives the mark is in hell, and then at the second coming of Jesus, when he comes back and puts an end to the tribulation, he casts the Antichrist and the false prophet alive into the pit of hell. So it doesn't turn out good for them. But it also says that they deceive men and people basically to receive this mark, which you should never, ever, ever, at all costs, I repeat over and over, do never receive this mark of the beast. But, for the first time in history recently, the technology for this type of system actually exists. And it's only been told recently. And this book was written a long time ago. But now, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this that's watching this, but they have created a microchip that can be implanted in your hand. and people, thousands of people have received this. It's called an RFID chip. It's basically stands for radio frequency information device, but it will, when they implant it in your hands, it could, you use it to make purchases. Now this RFID chip is the same chip that's on your credit or debit card. When you, the chip reader, when you go to buy something, that's the exact same thing that is in your hand, or that the implant that they're putting in people's hands. And um, I would never ever get an implant of this chip in my hand because it's way too similar to this Mark of the Beast system. Now, whether this RFID chip is the Mark of the Beast or not, I don't know. But I know that it'll be something, that will be it, or it'll be something very similar. And I strongly suggest not to get anything implanted in your hand or forehead, for that matter, to make purchases. One day, this will be enforced on people, and it's gonna um, be life or death. You know, get this chip or die. So, I've read the verses, I went through it, but have faith in the Lord that He will provide, and never receive the mark of the beast. And I encourage anybody that's watching this video to research it on their own. Look it up. Look up the RFID chip. See what's going on in the world. See what the future is, and figure out for yourself. The things of the tribulation are so close that they're showing up already. So that shows you how close we are to the return of basically the rapture of the church and all of this. So keep it in mind that we're not granted, we're not, we're never promised another day. We could die, or we could be raptured, or we never know what the future holds. We only have now. So spend your time wisely, and I hope this video has helped you. And remember that this is serious business. Never ever receive the mark of the beast. Thank you. Bye.